Hello, I'm Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. So it has been a minute since I have been able to get back on and record. So the big theme that's coming through right now is recalibration, and I'm going to share kind of the oracle messages that have been coming straight through in a moment. But for anybody who is new to my channel, and also just to kind of reintroduce and recalibrate all of my current subscribers. Again, thank you so much for being here. The way I work is these videos, sometimes I share cards, and I do have cards for you today. So we'll be getting into the cards in just a moment. But a lot of the messages I share just come through intuitively, my intuitive channel, my higher self, my guides, however you want to look at it. So I did open up the Akashic records this morning. It's 111 on the timer. I've been seeing lots of ones, lots of threes lately. So if that resonates with you, the 111, the 333 in particular, perhaps this message is for you. So many of my videos are sharing wisdom and information about the journey of knowing thyself, of self-mastery, of embodiment, of returning to wholeness. And that's the journey that I've been on, healing the heart chakra, the spiritual awakening journey, which really starts with healing. You know, many of the messages that come through, I'm just intuitively guided in the moment. It doesn't necessarily connect to planetary alignments and shifts or portal dates. Sometimes it does. So just to kind of anchor you in to how I work and operate, I am endeavoring to become more consistent with it, but I've been going through my own recalibration. I moved again to a beautiful space with horses, and that's been very healing for me. So I've been working with heart healing, and it's 222 on the clock when I say that. The horses in particular are very, very powerful energies. Their heart energies are very powerful. So they can assist us in a very palpable way with our healing. So today is February 28th, and tomorrow is the leap year. So we're in interesting times. We just had the Virgo full moon. We had the 222 portal with 3 major solar flares. So a lot of people have been feeling a lot in the collective. And this is what I mean about the recalibration. Energetically, a lot is being stirred up. And what the big themes that have been coming through that I've been seeing and witnessing and experiencing myself are themes around boundaries, communication, and trust, root chakra and heart chakra issues in particular. I just saw 313, a mirror number that's been coming up for me a lot. So if that resonates with anybody, it does mean new beginnings. And I do feel that this is what this is all ushering us into. We had the year of the dragon. It's been a year so far of new beginnings, and each time is an opportunity to clear out the old karmic baggage and patterns that keep us in those state of triggers. So when I opened up the records, it was really to immerse myself in that frequency and energy of love and oneness, to be able to really truly surrender and let go of any, past programming that was having me feel a certain way about a certain thing, So it really helps. And again, that theme of surrender has been so consistent. It's a consistent one throughout this journey because it is a way of being. It is not something you do one time. It is a way of being and living. It is a way of operating in this world. And it doesn't mean that we are giving up. It's a very different energy of surrender. It means that we are surrendering our ego. It's surrendering our control over the situation. That doesn't also mean that we don't take action. It means that we surrender our ego's sense of control and focus on how it needs to look, and that it has to go a certain way, or our notion that somebody is supposed to show up in that way because we have that expectation of them, right? So we surrender all of that, and then we surrender it to the highest best, the highest best for all. So that didn't come out right, but you know what I mean. So if you've been experiencing these themes, trust me, you're not alone. Everybody I've spoken to has been grappling with something, and I was flat out over the weekend, and a lot of physical symptoms as well. Many physical symptoms are coming up. Throat chakra in particular, I've heard of a number of times. But yeah, these are intense times, and we are preparing for the rebirth coming in spring, the spring equinox. So this is a recalibration of us reconnecting with ourselves, but also with Gaia and the natural cycles. So part of this recalibration is returning, is remembering our connection to the cosmos and to Gaia herself. So if we are disconnected, as we have been largely, then we're not operating in alignment with the energies that we're working with. So in the Northern Hemisphere, much of the world, most of the world, I think, just numbers wise, is in the Northern Hemisphere, majority of the population. So many of us will resonate with this being winter. It's still winter. And that's what a lot of people, including myself, need to remember, is that this is a time for planting, nourishing, nurturing the seeds that have been planted and preparing for the rebirth that is coming in a few weeks, but it's still a few weeks away. So since January 1st, I know I felt a lot of palpable energetic shifts, and Jupiter did go direct. So we did experience that. And the universe is reminding us, hey, it's not quite time yet. Now is the time to release those last bits of karmic patterning and triggering and all of the energetic density that we've been holding that would prevent us from fully anchoring into our mission, from fully embodying the new way of being that is in alignment with our heart and soul. So what needs to be cleared from our heart? What needs to be cleared from our root chakra that is the center of safety? So trust and safety go hand in hand. That's another big issue that's been coming up. Safety and being uprooted. And am I safe here in this new situation? Is it going to happen? Is it going to come through? Many situations are being recalibrated, and many of us are kind of facing resistance and blocks toward moving forward at the same time. So we have these layers of frustration, these layers of resistance, and this is all to bring it up to the surface so that we can release it, so that we can surrender it to the divine, to the bigger picture. And it's not easy, and this is exactly what we signed up for. We are all here at this time for a reason. So I'm going to get into the cards. I was just guided to pull out 2 Rebecca Campbell decks that I have, the Starseed Oracle and the Work Your Light Oracle. So I will share the Starseed Oracle first. And it's 818 on the timer, another mirror number. I saw 515 earlier, lots of mirror numbers coming up. So that's reflected in the cards too. So the first card that popped out was Whale and Orca Elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. So this notion of frequency holders of the earth is what the whales and orcas are, but it's also going with the flow, that water energy, but sharing your truth, speaking your truth, communication. So today we have Saturn and Mercury, Cazimi the sun, and I'm not a super trained astrologer, but I tune in, and I was feeling the stuff, and then I read the stuff, and sure enough, these notions of communication are being highlighted and releasing the karmic stuff. So communicate your needs, your boundaries, communicate your desires, share your truth on every level. Maybe you're being called to step up as an oracle. So share your truth, speak it out loud, and write it out if that's what resonates for you. But this is a big theme coming up right now in the collective. Again, that throat chakra stuff that was coming up for a lot of people. The next card that flew out was big picture thinking. So this is a really expansive card. Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. So this one I really love. It's spoken to me for years since I first got this deck. I identify as a visionary. I've always had beautiful visions, not just for myself, but for the world, of what the world could look like and be, heaven on earth, right? So allow the inspiration to flow through you. Allow that visionary energy to operate through you. And, the Pleiades, maybe you're connecting with the Pleiades energy as well. So that's helping us to step into the 5D. There with some of the closer energies for us to work with as we transition into this quote unquote 5D energy. So double mission flew out next. Lightworker starseed, serve the world by being you, which very much connects with the sharing your frequency. So it's not just your song, it's sharing the frequency of who you are. Who are you being in the world? So the double mission and sharing your frequency, this is a beautiful message right here. Now I'm going to pull out the Work Your Light Oracle cards. So the first card that came out, it was at the bottom of the deck. A few cards at the bottom felt very aligned and resonant with this message that's coming through. 1111, the ever unfolding rose. Cracked open is happening for you, not to you. So I do feel that many of us are being cracked open. I am a priestess of the rose myself. So, the lineage of the rose priestesses is what I've been trained through and where I was guided. So this notion of the rose as the heart and being cracked open to allow it to fully blossom, to open up. And this is about surrender. This is also about vulnerability and opening up your heart chakra. So you see, it's like as if her heart is just opening up and she is surrendering. So if you're going through something, trust that you're being cracked open for a reason, to allow the light to shine through, to allow that rose to blossom from within. So the blossom is the essence of who you are. Again, it's who you are here to be. So it's 1212 on the timer, a number that I've seen a lot as well. Lots of alignment lately. Yes, just say yes came out next at the bottom again. It's that interesting nuance, that recalibration energy, but also being open to the opportunities that are coming through. Because the truth is that the recalibration is redirecting us into the direction, for many of us, of our true soul mission and purpose. And it's not easy to let go of what our ego thought was for us. And that can be location, it can be people, it can be path, it can be the way we think we're supposed to bring things out into the world. I've been going through a recalibration on that level as well with my business. So that's been really interesting. Warrior woman. Have you answered your deepest calling? So this is kind of like, it gives Ace of Swords energy, like, as if it were a tarot card. It's obviously not, it's a different energy, but that was what immediately came to mind. So the Ace of Swords is really about stepping fully into your truth. And that's what the warrior woman energy to me is about, is answering your deepest calling, which is your truth. Who are you here to be? That is a big theme. That is what the recalibration energy is about, releasing all that you are not so that you can be fully who you really are at your deep core soul truth level, which is held in the treasure chest of your heart that is being cracked open for you now. Whew. So trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So with this, that trust and root chakra energy, see, these cards are just so beautifully aligned. This is that root chakra support, grounding energy coming through. And many of us don't feel safe or supported, or we are leaving that paradigm of feeling that way, of perhaps being surrounded by crabs in the bucket and snakes in the grass. You know, I've dealt with a fair amount of that myself. And, you know, we're leaving that old paradigm behind, but sometimes stepping out into the unknown is challenging. But we are also being called to trust that the people who are coming in for us to support us are truly here to support us. So allow yourself to step forward with vulnerability, but also with boundaries firmly in place. And that's what kind of came through in the next set. So that, again, those 4 were at the bottom of the deck and they were just like, pull me, pull me, pull me. I pull intuitively. I'm also terrible at shuffling, so I do it off camera still because my hands are small and it's just really hard for me to shuffle. So Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? So this doesn't necessarily mean you are on a priestess path or identify as being a priest, priestess, either or. But how are you being called to step up and lead? How are you being called to step up into your leadership, whatever that might look like in your life, community, family, big business, you know, whatever that's going to look like. So here we go. So in order to do this, we've got to move through this, all right? So I'm going to share because we started off nice and this is what we have to clear out. This is the recalibration that's coming. Okay, mirror. So who or what is triggering you? So these triggers are coming up so that we can bring awareness to what we're still holding on to. Those old energies and patterns rooted in old dense emotions from our past, often from our childhood, perhaps even from past lives. So this is what we get to release so that we can fully embody who we are here to be as the leader we are meant to be. So boundaries, here we go. See, the cards never lie. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? This has been a big theme for me as I have, you know, stepped onto this journey, this path, and it's an ongoing recalibration as we meet new people and then enter into new situations. Life will bring you people and situations that will help you, you know, we can use the word test or we can use the word recalibrate and to really embody and to own your boundaries and to speak them with clarity and compassion and with trust that they're not necessarily going to respond with a trigger when you say, hey, I need to do this right now. So, and to not make it about you if they do respond that way. That's been a huge lesson for me as well. So transformation, we are healing at a deep cellular level, deep healing. So this Virgo full moon in particular is about healing. Virgo is about healing the body, the physical. So a lot of physical aspects were coming up. And again, all of these solar energies, 1717, which is 88, are triggering DNA activation and triggering cellular detox. So that's where the physical symptoms come from. And this is what's happening on a cellular level. It's really big stuff. It's big stuff, guys. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. So we are also being called to remember that even if there's people in our immediate surroundings that are not showing up in a way that feels super supportive, that we are actually never alone. And if we feel like we're navigating this path without support and guidance, we are actually never alone. And then here's your Tower card, the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? So this doesn't have to be a huge deal, and maybe it's something small, maybe it's something energetic, maybe it is a big thing. But on the other side, we see this beautiful heaven on earth like energy, that garden energy. And this is like activation energy too. It's activating us to release the old, the walls, the boundaries that are, the walls that are not boundaries, the walls that keep out all the good, right? So if we are closed off to love, for example, because we have been hurt in the past, we're not allowing ourselves to experience the magic and beauty of what is possible. So we are being called to surrender to the being cracked open. This is a huge theme throughout this message. Seriously, these cards never lie. The cards never do lie. It's just such a beautiful journey. So these are tools of divination that are simply here to support us. There is nothing negative about that. I know that's kind of a big thing going around there's a lot of distortion out there. So another big theme for all of us on this whole journey is discernment. So trust the energy, trust the frequency of who you're tuning into, and trust the process. Trust yourself above all. That's what this is all guiding us deep into, is trusting ourselves, guiding us back home to our hearts. So if you are looking for support and guidance, I have my 8-day Infinite Possibilities reset, which with all of this recalibration is still available for free, which is kind of crazy. There's a lot of value in there. So I'm still offering it for free. And I've also decided to open up a few one-on-one sessions. So if you're feeling called to receive intuitive soul guidance from me, I can do Akashic records, and I often will pull cards, kind of whatever you need in that moment. And I also am a coach. So, I act as a mentor and coach. So whatever's coming up for you, if you feel the resonance, I am happy to work with you. I also have my big 6-month program, big in a beautiful, expansive way, which is my signature program, Expansion Path to Mastery, where you get access to all the core modules and beautiful energies in there. So I will link everything below, and I will be back with more because there is so much to share. As I recalibrate, I'm like, oh my gosh, the amount of videos that I want to share is just only increasing. So I'm sending you much love, onward and upward in love and light, and I will see you soon. And I so appreciate the likes, subscribes, and comments. I remember to say that pretty much every video, but I really truly do want to hear how things have been coming up for you lately, because it's been a lot. It's been really a lot. So I'm always so curious to hear what comes up for you and how this resonates, of course. Sending you much love, onward and upward.